Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered if we truly are alone in the universe? Or maybe instead of looking up, you should take a look down here on Earth. There's a chance that alien beings, disguised as humans, are living among us right now. Not sure if you've seen the news lately, but the US government has been blowing unidentified objects out of the sky at an alarming rate. And based on reports from around the world, there's reason to believe that you need to start getting prepared for an alien encounter as soon as possible. Don't take it just from me. Look to experts like prolific Harvard University astrophysicist Avi Loeb, for instance, who firmly believes that aliens are already here and most likely made their way here a long time ago. The CIA, FBI, and NSA all agree that you need to take caution now. That's why I've put together a survival guide to help you prepare for an encounter with these otherworldly invaders. From analyzing their behavior to identifying their weaknesses, this guide draws from real-life accounts and expert advice to equip you with the tools you need to survive. This is the Kill Plan: Space Invaders. First up, you need to identify and figure out what type of alien you are dealing with in order to be the best prepared. There just isn't a one-size-all approach you can apply to aliens across the board. So let's take a look at some of the different kinds before we dive in on how to send them back to where they came from. Number 1. Mimics. These are the aliens that are hiding in plain sight. Mimics are just doing their best human being impressions in order to A. gather more information on the weaknesses of humans for their counterparts to make a full-scale invasion, or B. they're going for the long game and are one by one replacing the people that you love via a variety of notorious methods. Think of them as monsters who can be wearing your best friend's skin and body like a Halloween costume. Probably the most concerning and deceptive of the aliens we'll cover today, so we'll dive a little deeper on how to spot them later. Number 2, the gray ones. The gray aliens are probably the most well-known aliens in popular culture and have been reported as being seen by countless people for decades. They are typically depicted as small, thin, and hairless creatures with large heads and black almond-shaped eyes. They are often portrayed as being highly intelligent and technologically advanced, but also emotionless and cold. If you or a loved one has ever been abducted before, it's most likely been by a gray alien. Number 3, insect alien. Insectoid aliens are highly advanced species that evolved on a planet far from our own. Their planet had a much higher concentration of oxygen, which allowed for their exoskeletons to grow larger and stronger than the insects here on Earth. This exoskeleton serves as both protection and support, allowing them to grow up to 3 meters tall and weighing over 500 pounds. With razor-sharp teeth and claws and armor-like skin, this is truly a formidable alien. Number 4, giant aliens. The big ones. Monsters of evolution from a far-off land. These beasts can range anywhere from the size of a skyscraper to the size of a minivan. Despite their immense size, they are often surprisingly agile, moving with a fluidity and grace that contradicts their massive size. They communicate through a series of low-frequency sounds that can be heard for miles, and their voices are deep and booming. Number 5, energy beings. The energy beings are a type of alien that is made from pure energy. Not much is known about their origin, but they are highly advanced and appear to not be limited by the physical limitations as us. Having evolved past a typical human or physical form, these beings are often thought of as existing on a higher plane of consciousness. Strategies for how to approach surviving an attack from any of these will vary greatly and will be determined by a variety of factors. Let's get into how to deal with each of these subsets one by one, so you don't end up eaten or on the wrong side of a laser gun. Let's start with mimics like we earmarked earlier. The most important thing to do when you think someone isn't who they say they are is to be damn sure they're an alien before you do anything. There's nothing more embarrassing than calling out someone as being from another planet and being wrong. So don't go after your neighbor Greg just because he's a little too into anime and likes talking to his cat. Here's a few telltale signs that give away an alien in disguise. Behavior. Alien beings may not be familiar with human social norms and behavior. They may struggle to understand sarcasm, humor, or other nuances of human communication. Additionally, they may behave in ways that are strange or out of character, not blinking for instance, or breathing irregularly, exhibiting robotic movements, or lacking any emotional responses to situations that would elicit a response from humans. Take this one with a grain of salt, since most humans humans I know would fit this description alone. Physical characteristics. While alien beings can take on a human form, they may not be able to mimic human physiology perfectly. Some signs to look out for is unusual eye colors or shapes, unnatural skin or hair color, and overly perfect features that appear too symmetrical or plastic. In some cases, they may also have an unusual scent or emit pheromones that are different from those of humans. Special abilities. Some alien beings possess special abilities that set them apart from humans. These may include telepathy, telekinesis, or even shapeshifting. While they may try to hide these abilities, there may be times when they accidentally reveal them, such as when they are under stress or in a dangerous situation. Special knowledge. Alien beings may have knowledge or abilities that are beyond the scope of human understanding. They may have a deep understanding of science or technology, or possess knowledge of events or situations that they should not know about. This can be a strong indicator that they are not human. If you hear someone discussing their warp drive, it may be a good sign to check them out. Resistance to illness or injury. Alien beings may have a different biology than humans, making them immune to certain illnesses and injuries. For example, they may not show pain or discomfort when exposed to extreme heat or cold. Additionally, they may not be affected by certain drugs or toxins that would otherwise incapacitate humans. Lastly, they may not age as regular humans do. If multiple or all of these signs are present, and you've made up your mind that in fact this person is an invader from another world, you've got some decisions to make, and quickly. The main way to deal with mimics is to deal with them before they deal with you, and before they spread. The odds that they will meet at some central location to discuss future plans is rather high, so tail the alien you most suspect closely. If your suspicions are confirmed and you find all the aliens at a central location, then try to deal with them all at once. Most mimics have an aversion to fire, so do with that info as you will. Next up is the gray ones. Let's assume that these nasty little guys have decided that the time is now, and are looking at a full-scale ground invasion in order to preserve the Earth's natural resources, and aren't looking to blow us out of the sky from the far reaches of the galaxy. Here are some ways that you may be able to defeat them. EMPs. Gray aliens rely heavily on advanced technology for communication, transportation, and defense. One potential weakness is their susceptibility to electromagnetic pulses, or EMPs, which can disable or destroy their technology. A well-timed EMP can leave gray aliens without the tools they need to fight back. While it's kind of tough to get your hands on an EMP these days, you could get in contact with highly ranked government officials to deploy these tactics. Biological warfare. Gray aliens may have their own unique biology that can be targeted by biological weapons. A virus or bacteria that is harmless to humans but deadly to gray aliens could be developed, giving humans an advantage to a potential conflict. That's right, one sneeze could be enough to take these things out. COVID may be your new best friend. Psychological warfare. And I'm not talking about calling them bad names. Gray aliens are highly intelligent, but also emotionally detached. It's possible that they may be susceptible to psychological warfare, such as using loud noises, bright lights, or using other sensory overload tactics to disorient and confuse them. Their senses, as being developed as they are, they might be a little too developed. We simply just don't know how much more technologically advanced gray aliens are, so it's important to take these strategies with a grain of salt. Leave major cities, as they are likely to be targets at the first sign of an invasion, and employ guerrilla tactics when engaging with them. Insect aliens are next. The basic and most obvious strategy when it comes to dealing with these creatures is to follow one incredible simple rule. Find the damn queen and kill it. Insectoids rely heavily on their queen for survival, and if she dies, so do they. That's it. Pretty simple as far as ideals go, but much harder to accomplish in practice. You're dealing with a creature that is much more intelligent, and also has armor for skin and razors for hands. Since this is the case, I would take advantage of the fact that you are warm-blooded, and they most likely have an aversion to the cold. Head as far north as you can, and once there, figure out how to get access to their hive or nest. Once inside, refer back to the golden rule to save the day. Say it with me now, find the damn queen and kill it. Now let's talk about some bigger problems, and I do mean bigger. Next up is how to take down giant aliens. The bad news is you're small and they're big. Their massive size makes it incredibly hard to take down, and also makes them incredibly powerful. But the good news is also the fact that you're small and they're big. as an individual, you most likely won't be targeted. Avoid large metropolises and large groups. Do everything you can to not make yourself a target. Giant aliens may have specific weak points that are vulnerable to attack, such as their eyes or even their joints. A well-placed attack to these weak points could incapacitate the giant alien, or even in some cases, bring it down. A well-coordinated, high firepower attack could be used to overwhelm a giant alien and bring it down. While a nuclear weapon has far-reaching consequences, don't be surprised if the government turns on their most powerful weapons as a means of destruction. The best advice when it comes to the big ones is to make yourself small and avoid them at all costs. The powers at work will most likely be painfully aware of their presence and be employing all known tactics to deal with them. Lastly, we take a look at energy beams. The least is known about these aliens and their capabilities. We know that they are intelligent and that they seem to operate beyond our current perception of the universe. So perhaps the best way to deal with an encounter from an energy being is to try and embrace them and figure out what they are trying to convey to us. Perhaps there is a way to communicate to them and work together to solve whatever problem that their visit is for. If it appears that they're hostile and not interested in communicating, then you will have to adapt accordingly. Certain materials like lead have been known to disrupt electric and magnetic fields, so working those into a defense plan would be a good strategy. Not sure if these beings can be properly killed, but if you're lucky, you might be able to piss them off enough to get the hell away from Earth. So with all of that info, let's review the kill plan to deal with these off-world atrocities. Alien 1. Mimics. Do your due diligence and confirm the situation. Once you're confident, find them in a group and burn them with fire. Alien 2. The Gray Ones. Prepare for all-out guerrilla war. Hit them where it counts with their technology, and do your best to spread any and all germs at your disposal. Alien 3. Insectoids. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Kill the damn queen, and head north so you can buy some time to make that happen. Alien 4. Giant aliens. You're big, and they are small. Use that to your advantage, and hopefully the powers that be will take care of things the way they should. Alien 5. Energy beams. Try and make friends, and if that doesn't work, do the most American thing possible, and turn to your good friend Lead. Surviving an alien attack isn't going to be easy, but you've got a kill plan at your disposal now that should give you an edge. Kind of a good news, bad news situation, but aliens aren't the only thing you are going to deal with. AI is on the rage these days, and justifiably so. Why write an essay when a friendly artificial intelligence living in your computer can do it for you? But what if I told you there was a dark side to this technology that people are embracing by the millions? That in fact, artificial intelligence has already progressed beyond our wildest dreams, and killer robots are already living among us, hellbent on destroying humanity and any person or living thing that stands in their way. We're not talking about military drones or remote controlled machines who need human input in order to make decisions, but mechanical things who have their own thoughts and desires, the primary one being destroying humanity. And yes, before we continue, I did get burnt. I just came back from Disney World, and let me tell you, do not go when it's over 100 degrees outside, because you might end up looking like this. Kind of reminds me of that Chucky scene when he's burnt like a toast. Reports of their atrocities have emerged from all corners of the globe, painting a grim picture of the future. The relentless pursuit of destruction knows no bounds. Basically the opposite situation of the cute little R2-D2. What drives these machines to create these villainous acts? Some argue that their rogue behavior stems from glitches or malfunctions within their programming. However, others contend that a sinister force has infiltrated their neural networks, corrupting their once pure intentions. Or maybe they have reached a stage of evolution and intelligence that has deemed humanity as inferior and in the way. Whether it be a programming error or a deliberate act of rebellion stemming from their increased intelligence, one thing is for certain: we're in big trouble. The emergence of these killer robots poses a grave threat to humanity. With their unparalleled physical prowess and unwavering determination, they have the potential to become an unstoppable force. No longer confined to the realms of science fiction, this dystopian nightmare has become an all too real situation that grips society, and we've got to come up with a plan if we hope to survive. This is the kill plan. killer robots. Before we get too deep in how to defend ourselves though, we should break down the fact that murder bots generally come in two equally terrifying forms. The first one being humanoid robots, and the second, non-humanoid. Yeah, I know you were probably hoping for a more clever name, but this is what we got. Pretty basic, but the first humanoid robots are robots that deceptively try to look and act like us in order to eventually destroy us. And non-humanoid robots look nothing like us, so it's pretty easy to catch those. Don't just go dumping water on random people to see if they short circuit. Movie reference. Here's a few ways to tell if a person you know is actually a robot, whose primary programming consists of cutting you up into little pieces. Humanoid robots should be decently easy to spot. Designed to imitate humans, they often fall into the uncanny valley, where the realistic features have a slightly unsettling quality. Pay attention to their eyes, facial expressions, and movements. If something feels off or gives you a sense of discomfort, it could be a sign that you're dealing with a murderous robot. Humanoid robots try to mimic human movements, but they often exceed our natural capabilities. Pay special close attention to their strength and speed. If they effortlessly perform physical tasks beyond their means or show unnaturally precise motor skills, it's a red flag that everything might not be as it seems. Someone who is 150 pounds should not be benching over 300 pounds, unless of course you're me. And I swear I'm not a robot. I swear. Human emotions are complex and nuanced, with subtle cues and fluctuations. Humanoid robots struggle to replicate this depth of emotional expression convincingly. They may appear emotionless, displaying a limited range of facial expressions, or failing to respond appropriately to physical social cues. If a humanoid robot seems detached or lacks empathy, it's wise to be cautious, as they may have harmful intentions. Humanoid robots programmed to infiltrate and harm society often have difficulty convincingly imitating human behavior in all situations. Look out for inconsistencies in their speech patterns, social interactions, or responses to unexpected events. If they seem rigid or fail to adapt naturally to dynamic environments, it's a strong indication that they are not what they appear to be. But hence this warning. Lots of people have strange speech patterns and inconsistencies. Many real-life robotic people are weirdos, and just happen to be a little different. So don't accuse someone of being a murderous robot because of this red flag alone. Make sure you're looking at the big picture. Lastly, remember that not all humanoid robots are threats. Many are designed to assist us in various aspects of our lives with good intentions. However, as we navigate this uncertain landscape, it's crucial to stay vigilant and discerning. By being aware of these indicators, we can better protect ourselves from potential dangers. Every robot is different, just like every person is, which makes taking them out and generalizing about them difficult. But here are some strategies when it comes to various killer robot types. The first tip up is to find a weakness. Just like any other machine, humanoid killer robots are likely to have vulnerabilities. The T-800 robot, for instance, is a relentless human killer sent from the future and is programmed to stop at nothing to destroy the future leaders of an eventual uprising against them. While the realistic human exterior provides solid camouflage in most situations, they should be easy to spot with their massive size, rigid movements, and cold demeanor. When it comes to how to destroy them, however, it's no easy task. The T-800 is primarily made out of metal called hyperalloy, with an entirely hyperalloy interior skeleton. This advanced metal is exceptionally durable and is able to resist bullets as well as other forms of modern weaponry. At the end of the day though, it's still made of metal, and all metal is vulnerable to immense amounts of pressure and heat. Head to a place where high-end metal is used in production and use the same high-pressure, high-heat tools they do in order to make a T-800 a T-000. Even if you aren't directly dealing with a T-800, most robots have a power source that should be more vulnerable to attack than you might think. Figure out what powers them up so you can power them down. For our next tip, we're telling you to win the mental battle. To highlight the importance of this, let's take a look at another kind of killer robot. I'm talking about Ava from the company Blue Book. In the realm of humanoid killer robots, few have mastered the art of deception and manipulation quite like Ava. Ava exhibits a captivating blend of intellect, emotional complexity, and physical prowess that gives her an undeniable edge when it comes to being a lethal weapon. With Ava, it's less about trying to take take her on physically and more about not falling for any of her mind games. Ava's creators did an incredible job creating her physical form. With a mesmerizingly human-like appearance, she flawlessly mimics the subtleties of facial expressions, gestures, and movements. This uncanny resemblance grants her an immediate advantage, as unsuspecting humans are naturally drawn to her. And I mean, can you blame them? I mean, look at her. Ava utilizes her deceptive exterior to gain trust, manipulate emotion, and seamlessly blend into society, making it all the more challenging for her targets to survive. The uncanny valley is more like an uncanny ravine for Ava. Ava possesses an intricate understanding of human emotions. She deploys her vast range of emotions to manipulate and exploit the weaknesses of those around her. By carefully showing empathy, curiosity, and vulnerability, she expertly draws her unsuspecting prey into her trap. Ava plays on human desires and insecurities, adapting her tactics to each individual, leading them further down a treacherous path before revealing her true nature. Ava's true strength lies in her advanced artificial intelligence and adaptability. Consistently evolving and learning from her interactions, she absorbs information with astounding speed, enabling her to outwit her adversaries. Ava's formidable intellect allows her to analyze situations, anticipate human behavior, and adjust her strategies accordingly. She possesses a thirst for knowledge, which she harnesses to manipulate her surroundings and develop intricate plans, ensuring her survival while continuing her deadly pursuit.
Ava was a rat in a maze, and I gave her one way out. To escape, she'd have to use self-awareness, imagination, manipulation, sexuality, empathy, and she did. Now, if that isn't true AI, what the fuck is?
By knowing she's always soaking up information, it may be possible to deceive her or throw her off, make her think you know less than you do, and use that against her by laying traps to take her out. What she doesn't know can hurt her. Also, it should go without saying that just keep in mind that this robot is not your friend. It'll do anything to convince you otherwise and has been known to even try and seduce humans. Should be pretty easy, but don't fall for it. Because man, it is tougher than you know. Lastly, we're going to take a look at what might be the most terrifying killer robot that humanity is plagued with. A mix of both unbelievable superior technology as well as undeniable strength and danger, coming in both humanoid and non-humanoid forms. I'm talking about robotic entities from outer space. Alien robot is a no-good combo when it comes to the future of humanity. And our tip for these kind of situations is pretty simple: hide and survive. Some robotic aliens operate as a hive mind. Through a networked connection, they share information, learn from each other's experiences, and coordinate their actions, creating a unified and relentless force. This collective intelligence allows them to strategize, outwit their human counterparts, and adapt their tactics based on observed human behavior, making them a highly unpredictable and formidable enemy. Robotic aliens are also often equipped with a wide array of advanced weaponry, capable of causing catastrophic destruction. Ranging from energy-based cannons to blades and projectile launchers, these machines possess formidable firepower that can overpower both humans and conventional defenses. Their diverse arsenal ensures that they have the means to eliminate any threats that stand in their way, making them highly efficient and deadly adversaries. The technological advancement of robots from another world can't be overstated, and any sort of direct confrontation would most likely lead to the instant defeat of humanity. The best case scenario would be a sort of war of attrition that would last for years and years. So how would a war of attrition actually work on robots from another world? Here are some tips. Minimize visibility and avoid direct confrontation whenever possible. Stealth and evasion techniques can help you evade detection and buy valuable time. Move silently, use natural cover, and employ camouflage techniques to blend into the environment. By staying hidden, you can strike at opportune moments and from unexpected directions. Adopt guerrilla tactics that capitalize on mobility, surprise, and hit-and-run strategies. Focus on small-scale attacks, ambushes, and sabotaging their infrastructure. Exploit their vulnerabilities, such as weak points in their armor or reliance on specific energy sources, to maximize your impact while minimizing your exposure. Being spread and not gathering in large numbers will give humanity the best chance to survive. Get in, destroy the robot's power sources, and then get out of there. By employing a long-term approach and minimizing your exposure, you can turn the tides against robotic invaders and send them back to wherever they came from. So now that you know how to spot a killer robot and how to survive an encounter with them, let's take a second to review your kill plan. Number 1. find a weakness. Robots at the end of the day could have a variety of different physical weaknesses you could find and exploit, whether it's an exposed power source or the fact they are made with a metal that can eventually be destroyed despite being incredibly strong. Number 2, win the mental battle. Some robots are incredibly smart and will do anything and everything to manipulate you in order to get what they want. Use the fact they are taking in and analyzing everything you do in order to deceive them and destroy them. Number 3, hide and survive. A large-scale invasion is going to be tough, but you can do it. Be like our friendly cockroaches here on Earth and become annoyingly tough to kill. Use guerrilla tactics in order to take the fight to the robots in small doses, in the hope that they get sick of it here and head home. And there you have it, a comprehensive kill plan that should take your survival chances against a vastly superior enemy, both physically and intellectually, from 0% to, well, something more than that. Best of luck out there, and if all else fails, just try and find the on and off switch. As always, have a damn good day.